Hello everybody, Sir Beaton here, and today we are looking at continuing our journey with matrices, and now we want to tackle equal matrices. And at the end of this video we should be able to understand what equal matrices are and also to answer questions involving equal matrices. Very simple concept. So let's head into what exactly do we mean by equal matrices. So two matrices are equal if they are of the same order. We learned about order, same rows and same columns, and each pair of corresponding elements are equal. So as long as they are of the same order, the corresponding elements are equal, meaning they are the same, that means we can call them an equal matrix or equal matrices. So for example, we have the matrix 2, negative 1, 8, 4 is equal to 2, negative 1, 8, 4. This is basically saying that this side is equal to this side, and as we can clearly see, this matrix is equal to this matrix because the corresponding elements are equal. For example, this 2 is equal to that 2. This negative 1 is equal to this negative 1. This 8 is equal to this 8. And this 4 is equal to that 4. Hence, the matrices are equal to each other. Also, that is indicated by the equal sign. So let's look at some questions that we can answer from the whole concept of equal matrices. So this example says, given that we have the matrix x negative 3, 4, 2 is equal to 2, negative 3, 4, 2, determine the value of x. So all we need to do is to see what is the corresponding value to x. So we see x here is corresponding to the 2. So we can simply say x is equal to 2. So the value of x is simply equal to 2 because these matrices are equal. And x and 2, they are in the same position. We can see 4 is equal to 4, 2 is equal to 2, negative 3 is equal to negative 3. Hence the corresponding elements are equal. So x will be equal to 2. So that is a simple example. So let's take it up a bit. So this example says, given that we have the matrix 2y plus 4, negative 3, 3, and 2 is equal to 6, negative 3, 3, and 2. Determine the value of y. So in this case, we see we're dealing with equal matrices and we want to find what is the value of this y here. So we see all of the corresponding elements are equal. So we need to correspond this here with its corresponding element, which is 6. So we can set up this as 2y plus 4 is equal to 6. And they want us to determine the value of y. So all we need to do is simply solve this equation. So we already know how to solve these simple equations. So we have 2y plus 4 is equal to 6. So we'll just take over the 4, or you can say we subtract 4 from both sides. So this will be 2y is equal to 6. So we take over this 4. When it goes over, it will do the opposite to what it was doing since it was adding. We take it over, it will subtract. So you'll have 2y is equal to 6 subtract 4 would give you 2. So this 2 now, this 2 is multiplying the y, so when we take it over, it will divide. So y is equal to 2 divided by 2, hence y is equal to 1. So the value of y is equal to 1. And that is how we use the concept of equal matrices to answer questions. So now let's move on to another example. So this example says, if a is equal to 3, 9, negative 2, 8, and b is equal to p, negative 1, and c is equal to 9q, p and q are constants. Given that AB is equal to C, work out the values of P and Q. So it says that AB, when we multiply AB, that will give us C. So what we need to do, we need to find what is the value of AB. So we need to work out AB. So A, we know the matrix A is equal to 3, negative 2, 9, 8. And we know the matrix B is equal to P, negative 1. So we need to work this out and then we equate that to C. So we know it's row by column. So it's row here by this one column. So this will be 3 multiplied by P plus 9 multiplied by negative 1. And then we move on to the next row. This will be negative 2 multiplied by P plus 8 multiplied by negative 1. These two should be equal to each other. So we know we are going correct. So when we work this out, we'll have 3 times P will be 3P plus 9 times negative 1 would give you a negative 9. So a negative and a positive will simply give us a minus 9. And then negative 2 times p would give you negative 2p. And 8 times negative 1 would simply give us a minus 8. So we have this matrix here is equal to the matrix C. So we know this AB is equal to this here. So we know C is equal to this here. So C is equal to 9Q. Now they want us to work out the values of P and Q. So all we need to do is equate these two corresponding matrices to each other. So this is a 2 by 1 matrix because we can count this as one element. This here can be considered as one element as well. And this is a 2 by 1 as well. So it's a 2 by 1 is equal to 2 by 1. Hence, it can be classified as an equal matrix because 3p minus 9, this can be considered as one term because they're together. Or one element actually because, you know, they're together. And we cannot take this any further, so that is why we leave it as 3p minus 9, and it can be considered as one element. So let's equate that and solve for p. For the first one, so we have 3p minus 9 is equal to 9. So this will be 3p minus 9 is equal to 9. So we can solve for p here. 3p will be equal to, so this 9 is subtracting, we take it over to add. So 9 plus 9, so hence 3p is equal to 9 plus 9 is 18. P is equal to 3 is multiplying, so we take it over to divide. So 18 divided by 3. Hence p would be equal to 6. So the value of p is equal to 6. So now we can work out the value for q. We see this is equated to q at the bottom here. So negative 2p minus 8 is equal to q. Well, we already found the value for p to be 6. So instead of 2 times negative 2 times p, we'll have negative 2 times 6. Subtract 8 is equal to q. So negative 2 times 6 will be a negative 12. Subtract 8 is equal to q. A negative 12 subtract 8 would be a negative 20 is equal to q. Q is equal to negative 20. So we have our value for q and our value for p. So we can say therefore p is equal to 6 and q is equal to negative 20. And these are our two values. So now let's move on to another example to cement this concept. So we have 3 open bracket a 4 minus 2a is equal to 15 and then b. So they want us to work out the values of a and b. So what we need to do, we need to equate these two matrices and then solve. But before we do that, we see we have a constant outside of this matrix, so we just multiply that constant by everything in the matrix. So this will be 3 times a will give you 3a, and then 3 multiplied by all of this here will be 3 times 4 would be 12. 3 times negative 2a would be negative 6a. And then that would be equal to 15b. So to solve for a and b, we see 3a is equal to 15. Hence, a would be equal to, this 3 is multiplying the a, we take it over to divide, so we'll have 15 divided by 3. Hence, a is equal to 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we have our value for a there, which is 5. And then to solve for b, we have 12 minus 6a is equal to b. So we already found a to be equal to 5. So we can say 12 subtract 6 times a, which is 5, is equal to b. So 12 subtract 6, 5 will be 30, which is equal to b. So 12 subtract 30 will give us a negative 18 is equal to b. Hence, we can say b is equal to negative 18. And to answer this, we can say a is equal to 5 and b is equal to negative 18 as the answers for a and b. So with that, this has brought me to the end of this video. So in this video, we looked at equal matrices, and we learned that in an equal matrix, the corresponding elements are equal. And also we saw that in some cases, we will have some unknowns in which we'll have to use our knowledge of solving equations to answer. That is why solving equations would be one of the most important topics in mathematics, because that specific topic can be found in a wide variety of topics in CSEC mathematics. So of course, I must leave some questions for you to do on your own to practice as homework. And here I have here, given that A is equal to, and we have a matrix of A, B, and C. I said AB is equal to C, determine the values of X, Y, R, and S. And a question like this would go for like 4 marks. So if you can answer this question, that means you fully understand how to manipulate equal matrices and answer questions. So with that, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.